So, you have a lot of money, and you can't decide between the regular STRIX or the STRIX Scar. They may look similar, but they have quite some differences. The Scar is a little more expensive, so what are you getting for that extra money? Well, I have both of them here, so let's find out. And please like and subscribe if you like these type of videos. Just to clarify, I have the STRIX G18 and the STRIX Scar 18 here, but this video applies to the STRIX and Scar 16 as well, since those are basically just smaller versions of these ones. Oh, and in this video I'll refer to the STRIX G18 as the STRIX and the STRIX Scar 18 as the Scar. From the outside, these two are very similar. They actually have identical dimensions, which means they're both gigantic laptops. But the STRIX comes in a gray color, while the Scar comes in black. And while the STRIX just has a logo and a line here on the back, the Scar has an RGB logo, as well as this incredibly cool mini LED matrix. You can upload custom stuff to it through Armoury Crate or G-Helper, so it can show anything you want. Yes, anything. I mean, imagine showing up to class like this. Just make sure nobody near you has epilepsy. Now they both have that 360-degree RGB strip at the bottom as well, which looks very sleek. The Scar is 100 grams heavier than the STRIX, but this really isn't noticeable at this weight. Other than that, from the outside, they're basically identical. Now, to make this comparison as fair as possible, I spec them both with the Ultra 9 275HX and an RTX 5080. These two have the exact same power limits, so they should perform identically. But while this is the highest spec model for the STRIX G18, the Scar can go a step higher up to an RTX 5090, which isn't an option on the regular STRIX. Since they're in the same chassis, they have the exact same port selection, which means literally everything you can think of. And they also use identical power bricks, with that new Asus connector, which is nice. And of course, they also both support USB-C charging up to 100 watts. Their keyboards are different though. The STRIX has a 3-zone RGB backlight and some translucent keys over on this side. But the Scar has full per-key RGB, which allows for some pretty cool looking effects. The lighting also gets brighter and looks a lot more premium on the Scar. The keys themselves are also different. The STRIX has slightly cheaper and more rattly keys. But the Scar's keys have a lot longer key travel, a more satisfying click, and more stable feeling keys. I actually haven't felt keys these good on a laptop in a long time. They're quite something. Their trackpads are literally the same though. The STRIX Scar 16 does get that touch-based numpad on the trackpad that the normal STRIX G16 had as well. So that's the only difference between the 16 and the 18 inches here. But the biggest difference between these two are their displays. The STRIX has a regular old IPS display, but the Scar has a mini LED display. And it is literally night and day between these two. The regular STRIX has a max brightness of 500 nits, which is enough for most people, but the Scar can get more than double as bright, up to 1200 nits. I kid you not, if you put this thing at full brightness, it will flashbang you. It's got over 2000 dimming zones in its display, which can individually make a small part of the screen brighter or dimmer. It looks almost as good as an OLED in terms of contrast. And this makes watching HDR content amazing. Games that support HDR will also look very good on here. I've never really played anything like this. All in all, it also just has better, more vibrant looking colors than the regular STRIX. This is the biggest part where that price increase on the Scar goes to. So if you like good displays, you're gonna love this one. And apparently, that extra money also gives you better speakers. The STRIX's speakers almost sound like they're being blocked by something. But the Scar speakers sound a lot more clear and cleaner, and not like you're listening to a song through waste pipes. They're both a bit lacking in bass, but the Scar definitely sounds better. But still, at these prices, I'm disappointed that they didn't just shove Zephyrus speakers in here. I mean, the space is literally there. As expected, they also have identical webcams and microphones. I don't think these laptops are marketed towards people that do virtual Teams meetings, so I don't think it matters that much. Now, since they have the exact same specs and power limits, these two should perform the exact same. And they do. In Cinebench and TimeSpy, they were very close to each other within margins of error. I'm not going to bore you with the same numbers you've seen before, so let's go through them quickly. Oh shit, now I have to talk about something. I went on vacation for 3 weeks, which is why I'm a lot browner now. I went to Kosovo and Montenegro, so lots of sun, beach, and ethnic tensions. I'm just kidding. It was a lot of fun, and I went to visit some family that lives there, so all in all, great vacation. Oh yeah, the video. These two perform the exact same, so don't pay more for the Scar expecting it to perform better. It really is too bad that none of these come with the AMD 9955 HX3D though, since that one is a lot faster than these two Intel chips. But hey, I guess they made that deal, right? The battery life for these two is also the exact same, which means not very long. Don't buy either one of these expecting a full on-the-go laptop experience, because they're just not made for that and their CPUs need a lot of power. Then again, at this weight and size, you were probably already going to use it as a portable desktop. Now, since they have the exact same cooling system, they also run at the same temperatures, reaching maximums of about 86 degrees for its CPU and around 76 degrees for its GPU, so very decent. However, you might notice that these are not the same numbers as in my original STRIX G18 review. Well, as it turns out, my first G18 had some kind of defect which made it run a little slower but a lot hotter. This makes the data that you see in that video a little bit inaccurate. Sorry. I ran everything again with this new G18 though, and lo and behold, it performs the exact same as the Scar 18. They do get pretty loud. But most of this noise is on the back of the laptop. So you're not going to hear it too much. Now again, same chassis, same upgradeability. I'm just using this segment as an excuse to pop the back open again, because it is such a cool and easy way to upgrade parts. 2 M.2 SSD slots, 2 DDR5 RAM slots, and even an upgradable Wi-Fi card makes both of these very future-proof. And when you're done upgrading, click, you're back to gaming. Now as for pricing, there is a pretty significant price hike on the Scar. The regular STRIX G18 costs around $3,200, but the STRIX Scar 18 is almost $500 to $600 more, which is quite a bit. And for the 16-inch versions of these, the price difference is more like $700, so even bigger. Which brings us to our conclusion. Should you pay more money for the STRIX Scar? Well, if you're just looking at performance, the regular STRIX is obviously a better deal. But for swag, no wait, people don't use swag anymore. For aura, the Scar is a pretty damn cool laptop. The Scar has a way better display and actually one of the best displays I've ever seen on a laptop. And that LED matrix on the back just looks really cool. Is that worth $500 to $600 more? Probably not. But if you're already paying fuck you money for a gaming laptop, what's a little more to make it look cooler, right? But of course, that's for you to decide. I'll put Amazon links for both of these in the description below. Now let me give a huge shout out to my YouTube members. Soundwife, Thomas, Inky, Mr. Frosty Dude, Dropzone1, Martijn Snijkers, Flimsy, Aki, Disco Volante, Daniel, Mr. Nuke, Sebastian, Christian Sands, Real Elf, Suryansh, Alan, Toasted, Eric the Rad, Wesley Rhodes, Michael, and Ghost Data. If you become a YouTube member, you get early access to content of mine, a shout out at the end of every video, and you'll also be supporting me as a creator to make these videos. And of course, you'll also be part of the Cool Guys Club. So you can use cool emojis like these in the comment section below. So join the club if you're interested. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye bye.